What's up, y'all? We got a lot to talk about today, man. We got clowns, ass clowns, right? Talking about why affirmative action should have never existed in the first place. Oh my God. I cannot. Yo, what's up, man? So this is another episode of Talking Points with Isaiah, man. We got a lot to talk about today, man. We got these ass clowns out here talking about why affirmative action should have never existed. Like, we got people that make YouTube, and let me just say this for YouTubers out there, man, because I know that YouTube is a popular thing right now, right? It's so popular to do, get a check from YouTube, go viral. A lot of you guys are going to be very upset when you get older in life and realize that you sold your morals and you sold what you thought or what you thought was the right thing to do. You sold that for views on YouTube. And the reason why I say this is because I watch a lot of these young kids and a lot of African American young kids, and they're being gassed by the popular white media, like the Trump supporters. Because when I first came out in 2014 or whatever, and I was paused. Matter of fact, I was urban community type shit. But I was talking to political issues in the urban communities with African Americans and gang violence and all that stuff. When I first started talking about these issues and it started coming out in Philadelphia, I mean, I had invites to go to Donald Trump, Candace Owens, Liam Dunson, Joe Biden. I had all these invites, right? When I first came on, I'm like, no, that's not what I do. I was sitting up here talking on the internet through my phone. That's it. I'm not going or whatever. And I didn't agree with the narrative. But they like, oh man, you can go viral. You can go viral. You can go viral. I'm like, I'm not trying to go viral. I'm trying to have a conversation about what I believe in. The reason why I say that this is so important is because a lot of these kids now is just trying to go viral. I watch y'all have a conversation about, you know, affirmative action. And I watch y'all guys say shit about affirmative action and only have one talking point. Just because it's the color of your skin, it don't matter that you should be able to go to those school because and I'm like, are you just saying one thing and understanding one issue about how affirmative action works? Like, do you understand the landscape in America? Do you understand how this thing is actually how this thing actually works? Do you understand how colleges and jobs actually work? Do you understand the population? Do you understand the totem pole? Do you understand where do we live at in America? Don't worry about it. I guide y'all through this since you don't understand it because I get it. A lot of you young kids are making a lot of talking points right now and it sounds smart. And you're getting a lot of views from it. Just because you got views don't mean that you're right. And you get half this country is 65% white people. Of course they're gonna click like when you're saying some racist stuff that they agree with. Of course they're gonna click like. You're saying racist things that they absolutely agree with. Of course they're gonna push the like button on that and they're gonna thumbs up and put the comments in and say, you're right on point. Go ahead. Keep being a sellout. Keep. And the reason why I say that, and people say, just because I think different, I'm not a sellout. The reason why I say that is because if you come from any area like I come from, where the schooling is bad, where the tax bracket is bad, you do not have an equal opportunity. I don't care how smart you are. The playing field is different. You graduating from Benjamin Franklin is different from graduating from Warrenton High. Graduating from the local neighborhood school in the hood is different than graduating from a different school. Trying to, oh man, if you did the work, then you should have the same. No, you would have to work double coming from where we come from to to be looked at, to just be looked at, not to be accepted, to be looked at. That's not in a fair opportunity system. That's not how it's supposed to work, especially when one side of the country has the most people. So if white people are 65% of the population and if black people are only 13% of the population, then you don't understand how the math will never figure for you to get that job that you want, for you to get to go to that school that you want, to go to that trade school to work, if affirmative action never take place. Y'all young kids is hurting a lot of work that African American older generations put into. And y'all hurting them because they're able to pull the wool over your eyes and this new generation, because the only thing we do is watch videos. That's the only thing. We do no hard type of reading or understanding the information that's really put out in front of us. The only thing we do is watch videos. And the points and watching videos do not make points. Watching videos draw conclusions. That's the only thing watching video. I never saw a video sit down and then it stopped and said, you know what? Well, this is fact, this is fact, this is fact, this is fact, and then point you out to where you can go get that fact from, and then no. A video is doing what I'm doing right now. It's going to talk to you, and hopefully you go out and get the information. But when you got one person, and I watched this lady this morning, I'm not going to even say her name. I watched this lady this morning. I left a long comment inside the chat, inside her comment thing. And she talked about affirmative action. Young African American woman. She talked about affirmative action. And she only had one talking point on affirmative action. And that talking point was, you just can't be black and expect to go to the same schools and don't put in the work. The sense that makes is zero. Do you think Harvard is going to pick a black kid that's not working hard enough to go to that school? No, they're going to pick the black kid that got the good grades. But when they get to the school, they're going to fall behind a little bit because they come from a different schooling institution. If you grew up in any of these neighborhoods where the tax bracket is horrible, where we have these Fortune 500 companies inside these cities, but they pay no school taxes. And believe me, I know how this thing works because I had a company out in Glenside where I lived. I lived outside of Philadelphia. I'm in Philadelphia right now. I lived in Glenside, right? I had a company inside of Glenside. And I didn't have no schools, no kids that went to school, but I had to pay school taxes, right? I had to pay school taxes, right? My school taxes was about, I think, $1,500 a year. No. My taxes was $10,000. My school taxes had to come to, let's look it up. How much is school taxes in Glenside? Let's look it up. How much is, because I forgot school taxes in Glenside. I truly forgot how much the school taxes was when I was living at Glenside. But we're gonna look it up right now and see. That's PA. It's alarming, man, that you can get this young generation to literally neglect everything that older African Americans fought for. 3.7% household in a household. So the highest school taxes in PA is Darby. So the highest school taxes is the county. Wherever you got the highest school taxes, Bristol County, Marsville County, Pittsburgh, It's the county. You don't have high school taxes in Philadelphia. And what does that do? Right? What do low school taxes do? What I've been complaining about to so many government officials, it's ridiculous. What do low school taxes do within our city? What low school taxes does is it don't make the school better. So you don't have new books, you don't have new programs, you can't barely pay the teachers. So the teachers come to Philadelphia as a stepping stone job. Most rookie teachers is in Philadelphia. Not no veteran teachers go to Philadelphia to actually teach in the schools unless they live in Philadelphia or they're doing something to better the community within Philadelphia. But you don't even get paid as much that you need to get paid as a teacher in Philadelphia that you would get paid in Bucks County, or you would get paid in Morrisville County, or Bristol Township, and all these other places, Montgomery County, all these other places. And then you look at yourself and you say, well, why is this happening? And then you understand how the world works. It's certain things that's not allocated to certain areas. How did African Americans get in these areas? From redlining. See, this is a direct effect of which slavery, and I know people don't like to say here's slavery shit that I say, they always say that, oh man, you're saying a victim mentality. But if you've been victimized, you will have a victim mentality, right? So this is the exact effect of slavery. What happened after slavery? We had Jim Crow. What happened after Jim Crow? We had segregation. What happened after segregation? They let us go, but we had these little dumb rules, like, oh, we can't go to the same school as you, or after segregation, we had the tension and beef, like, you know what I mean, in the early late '70s, it's tension. Oh yeah, we're gonna go to that school, but check this out. Y'all can come to our school, but that's only if your kids live inside a white neighborhood. But we redline mostly all of y'all, so y'all live inside black neighborhoods. So most of the time, black kids is going to go to school with black people because the neighborhood is the same. And if you look at how poor works, more African Americans live in lower incomes than white people. You understand what I'm saying? As a percentage, not more, as a percentage. It's more percentage-wise of African Americans from us living in poor neighborhoods. I think we almost 8% of us live. We're only 13% of the population. I think 7% of us live underneath the poverty line. So when you understand that information, that's detrimental. Because if you living inside a place that's underneath the poverty line, but you can be smart as a whistle, you're never going to have the opportunities to go to the same schools or pick the same jobs. I don't care how good you can actually exceed. That's why I find it so ignorant that you see young kids, especially African American kids, talk about issues that they don't understand. These laws was put in effect for certain reasons. For certain reasons. And I know that we have in our battle with affirmative action right now. And I know that a lot of places is mandated. People don't want it. They want everybody to have a fair opportunity. But without affirmative action, because they say that affirmative action only brings people to the dance because of the color of their skin. And that is bullshit. It brings people to the dance from places that you would never heard about. And it puts that place on the map and says, listen, boom, you got to pay attention to these kids too. Well, these kids is not better than these kids. Of course they're not. Of course, these kids don't know more than these kids. Of course they don't. Because they come from a school district that's impoverished, that don't have enough money, that don't have enough backing. In Philadelphia, almost 8 of our schools got hit with asbestos. They asked for a grant for almost a $1 billion grant to fix up the schools. They asked for $1 million, but they said they needed over $1 billion to fix up the schools in Philadelphia. Name another county that 80% of Harvard students come from, or Princeton, or any of these students come from, that they wouldn't, that have the same issues as Philadelphia County. You could be dead poor in a white county, but have a better schooling than Philadelphia. In certain places in urban communities. You know, school shootings. I look at school shootings in Columbine. I say Columbine was the biggest school shooting. But that's a lie. There was so many school shootings in Compton in the late 80s, early 90s. It was so many school shootings in urban neighborhoods, in African American neighborhoods, that they don't care about that. They didn't start calling it a mass shooting until white people started getting hurt. Because we always had drive-bys. That's why I said, you guys, it's very, very alarming, yo, when young kids talk about issues that they really don't know. It's very, very alarming. With that, y'all, I gotta leave on this note, man. I got a phone call to answer, man. I'll talk to y'all later, man. All right.